Hi everyone, it's Shannon and welcome to today's video. So I'm very excited because I have the brand new Charlotte Tilbury quad that was kind of a surprise release. It is called the Queen of Luck. It is a new quad and she hasn't come out with a quad. I think the last quad she came out with was Pillow Talk Dreams, and then she came out with two limited edition ones 2 years ago for Christmas, but the quads aren't something that she does a lot anymore. So I was very excited to see this one and I did pick it up. I believe it was released on December 21st. Mine just got here. I ordered it as soon as I saw it available and it took a full week, even though it was 2 to 3 days delivery. But this is the box. It's very standard. And then here is the palette. Now the palette runs $55. It looks like the old palette, I guess the old style. You can see it here. And then you have the one from 2 years ago. This was the limited edition one. And then also these, I think for, this is, well, this is Fire Rose. So this one was re-released in UK and Australia, but not in the United States. So that's Fire Rose, Star Aura. So the Star Aura one, yes, I have names on some of them, the Star Aura one. So, but it has the plain, you know, burgundy packaging, and then inside it is actually really pretty. But you know, I'm curious about it because I think the color story is beautiful, but it looks a lot like her other quads. Now, I did a full like ranking video a while back of all the quads that I owned, which was quite a bunch, and I have since decluttered quite a few. With this one, I think I have 10. So this now makes 10. You know, I no longer have Pillow Talk. I decluttered Pillow Talk because I got Pillow Talk Dreams, which I liked a lot better. And I've kept some other ones. Some of the ones that I'm going to compare are limited edition. This is one is limited edition as well, but I wanted to compare because some of them are very similar. So I'm going to do some side-by-side comparisons of a lot of them, and then also do some swatch comparisons. And then I'm going to do a try-on, but I do think it's really pretty. I'm really curious as to how it performs. It doesn't look anything like Fire Rose, so I will tell you that. So, you know, it's not, I'll come do a side-by-side comparison, but anyway, so it's $55. It's for the Year of the Dragon, which I'm very excited about because I am a dragon, I guess you could say. I was born in the Year of the Dragon. So this is, I guess, my Chinese year. So very excited about this one. And, yeah, $55 and limited edition. Okay, and on the website, it states new limited edition eyeshadow palette with duochrome golden pink, warm terracotta brown, and champagne gold shades to gild your eyes in the lucky glow of moonlight. So again, just really pretty. Okay, so first up, I wanted to just do some side-by-side comparisons of the two from 2 years ago. So this is Celestial Pearl, and this is the Queen of Luck. I will do some swatch comparisons, but I'm just going to do some side-by-side comparisons now. And then the other one that I really liked that most people didn't, I think I was one of the few that really liked this one. I liked this one more. This was Cosmic Pearl. And mainly because of this shade right here, I absolutely love. So this one's not a comparison at all. So I won't do a side-by-side comparison of this one. I do think it is more similar to Celestial Pearl. And of course, I'm going to do a side-by-side to Fire Rose. Again, not compared at all. So probably won't do a swatch comparison to this one. This is Copper Charge. So Copper Charge is one of my favorites. Again, not comparable. So won't do a swatch comparison of that one either. Okay, next up is Dreamgasm. So Dreamgasm is no longer available. It was a limited edition, and I believe it was a combination of two palettes. So this is, but it, again, not comparable. I think some of the shades in here are the ones from Pillow Talk. I'm not sure, I'd have to look it up, but again, not available. And also not a comparison. Now, Star Aura is one that I think it does remind me of, especially the top, I guess right hand shade. This top left, right hand shade, it looks very similar. So this is Star Aura, this is Queen of Luck. Okay, and then I did mention Pillow Talk Dreams. So it's nothing like Pillow Talk Dreams. So you can see here, this is Pillow Talk Dreams. So very different from Pillow Talk Dreams. And then the last one is Exaggerize, which I do think it's similar, but I think it's probably, it would be like, I think just looking at it, it's something if Star Aura and Celestial Pearl had a baby. So this is Exaggerize, and I'm sorry, if it was Star Aura and Exaggerize had a baby, it's kind of similar. So I think it's a combination of those three palettes. So those, I think, they're the three that I'm going to compare to as far as swatching is concerned. But let's go ahead and swatch the palette right now. Okay, so first is the Prime shade. They don't have names, so this is the Prime shade. The next one is the Enhance shade, so this one is really pretty. And then moving around clockwise, you have the Smoke shade. This is how Charlotte Tilbury's. Now that is buttery. That feels like the matte in the new Beauty First palette. Definitely not the same formula in the other quads. This seems to me feels like the matte formula in the Beauty First palette, which I absolutely loved. And then finally you have the, I think it's the Define shade, which is the number 4 shade. So that is the palette. So very ethereal, I think you could say, but I love the matte. The matte is super creamy. So already right out of the gate, I really like this palette just for the quality of the matte. I do wish there were 2 mattes, but I do really like the quality of that matte. Okay, so one correction, the last shade is not Define, it's actually a pop shade. Some it's Define, some it's pop. So that last shade is a pop shade. I was gonna try and swatch and do the comparisons here, but I'm gonna wipe this off and then do the comparisons for the other 3 quads. Okay, so here is the comparison. This is Queen of Luck. This is Star Aura. Very different. This is the shade that I thought like looks like Star Aura, but to me it's not even comparable. So it really is very, very different from Star Aura. Even the texture felt different. This just doesn't feel, it looked the same in the pan, but feels completely different and looks different on the arm. Okay, and here's the comparison between Queen of Luck and Exaggerize. So all I can tell you is this is a very new Exaggerize. Actually, I hadn't used it. I decluttered my other one because it was a little old and I got a new one. So the formula is definitely different. This is definitely the matte formula from the Beautyverse palette, which I think is phenomenal. So, and then the color story's different enough. Will it look different on the eye? Maybe, maybe not. But the matte is definitely different. This is definitely more warm terracotta. It's just different. So is it a big difference? Maybe, maybe not, but formulas are definitely different. Okay, and here is Queen of Luck compared to Celestial Pearl. Celestial Pearl's not available anymore. It was limited edition from 2 years ago. I think it just recently sold out. Now this one I think is probably the most similar, but this one has a true matte. This one didn't. The colors are similar, but definitely the first 2 shades are going to be different. I think the last 2 shades, so the Define shade, the Define shade and then the Pop shades are similar but different in texture. The first 2 shades are different. So I think this is probably the most similar, but again, very different. Okay, so I am going to try and use this as the formula. Now the Prime shade, I never really use it as the Prime shade all over the lid. I'll do that a little bit on the top, but I usually just use that as the inner corner and the brow bone. But I'll do that a little bit today, just kind of at the top, because it is a pretty light shade, so I'll do that. But I am gonna go with the formula because that's not necessarily how I would probably apply this palette because there is only one matte shade, but I'm going to try and use the Charlotte Tilbury 4-step, application because that's how it was designed, and see how the look comes out. Okay, so I did just put the Prime shade all over the top, and that is a golden metallic. That's the description. The next is the Enhance shade, which is this one right here, and it is described as a duochrome golden pink metallic. So I'm going to use the same brush, and I'm going to take that and I'm going to kind of use it as I would a transition shade. So that is, again, the Enhance. So I'm going to do it as a transition shade, just kind of across the crease. Okay, so that is with the pop shade and the enhanced shade on both sides. Then the next is the smoke shade, which is the warm terracotta brown matte. Now this matte is just dreamy. Now this is, I would probably use this more as a transition shade and all over the lid if I were doing this kind of on my own. And that's probably how I will end up using it unless I really like this look. But we're gonna try and do the Charlotte Tilbury look, and basically with the smoke, you kind of just put it on the outer corner. And this is what I typically do with my eyeshadows, so it's very similar to what I do. Okay, so I took the brown matte and I just kind of put it out on the outside, brought it in a little bit on each side, and it does really, I mean, it's beautiful. This matte, these mattes are probably my favorite mattes on the market. I would almost want her to come out with a matte, just a matte palette with this. I will also go in on the lower lash line with this as well as at the bottom. But it is with the metallics underneath, it does give a really pretty look to it. And then next I'm going to go in with the pop shade, and I'm going to just put that on and then put that with my finger and take that and just pop it on the lid. Now this is really pretty. Really, I love her pop shades. You know, those single pop shades were so popular and they were so good. I have all of them. I don't really use them that much on camera just because they're not available anymore. So if somebody asks what I'm wearing, you know, you can't get it. So I do tend to wear them though a lot. Well, not a lot, but when I go out, I will add them to a lot of things. So that is the pop shade. So that is it. That's the look. Let me go ahead and clean it up a little bit, put some mascara, and come back. Okay, so I am back, and so I just, again, I lined. I didn't use any eyeliner. I just used the palette. I didn't want to I wanted to focus on just using the palette. So I used the matte shade on the lower lash line and also on the top lash line, just kind of cleaned it up a little bit. And I think it's absolutely beautiful. It definitely gives more of an ethereal look, very light, airy look. This is one of those ones that I like, I don't love. This isn't what I gravitate towards. However, when I do wear this type of eye look, I get a lot of compliments. Exaggerize, I liked, and I got it, and I was like, okay, I don't really get the hype. And but then every time I wore it, you know, I got so many compliments on my eyes. Not necessarily my eyeshadow, but oh my God, you have such beautiful eyes, and it really makes your eyes pop. The same thing with Star Aura. I didn't really get the hype, but every time I wore it, I got so many compliments on my eyes. So I kind of feel like this is giving that same type of vibe where it's a really pretty look. However, it's more focused on, it brings out the beauty of your eyes, not necessarily focusing on your eyeshadow, which is good. It's just not something I tend to gravitate towards, but I do really like it. The quality is exceptional. I think this is I think it's on par with the better quality of her more recent formula. I did pull out Blvd. So real quick, none of the shimmer shades are comparable. I did some swatches. The matte shade is similar to this top one here. So I'm going to swatch both here. This is the one from Blvd. I didn't mean to give you the middle finger. And then here is the one from Queen of Luck. So very similar. They feel similar. Is it the same formula? I don't know, but it feels very similar, and the color is very similar, but still not the same. So, but you're not going to get the same type of looks because this is obviously a different palette. You've got 4 different mattes. I love this palette. Now, this one's $75. This one is $55. If you were between the two, I'd go for this one. Just because you have 4 mattes, you've got 5 different shimmers, you've got a different variety than with this one. This one for $55, I do think the quads are a little overpriced. With that said, if there's a sale or there's a bundle price, then that's what I would go for. I think it's worth it. I bought it for purposes of this video, but would I pay $55 if I didn't have this channel? probably not. I would wait for a sale. I think it's worth it, but I do think there's going to be a sale. Now I do have 15% off if you're a first-time user or first-time buyer on Charlotte Tilbury, which is Shannon FA012. It'll be in the description box below. But you know, there's always a sale. So I think it's beautiful. But I do think like between this one for $55 full price and this one for $75 full price, I would go for this one. I mean, you're just going to get 9 shades. You're going to get a lot more product. That's what I would do. But I think this is beautiful. I love the eye look. I'm definitely going to I can definitely try and get different looks out of this. It's going to be very similar, but you know, I didn't use the matte like I normally would. I used the kind of her formula. And I think it came out really nice. So I'm really happy with it. But again, so, I did pay for this. I did not receive an NPR. So, again, I think it's worth it, but I would wait for a sale or wait for a discount. But I do think it's one of her better qualities, and the matte feels like the new formula. That is exceptional. So with that, if you like this video, click like, click and subscribe. That way you get a notification every time I post a new video. Bye everyone.